Our journey begins with a man known as Siddhartha Gautama, who would become the enlightened one, the Buddha. Born into the lap of luxury, Siddhartha was a prince of the Shakya clan in ancient India, with every comfort and privilege at his disposal. Yet he felt a deep sense of unease, a profound discontentment that couldn't be satiated by material possessions or worldly pleasures. Despite his royal upbringing, Siddhartha was moved by the suffering he witnessed beyond the palace walls. He saw the harsh realities of life, old age, sickness, death, and was deeply troubled by them. These sights stirred within him a profound question: why do we suffer? This question became the catalyst for Siddhartha's journey of self-discovery. He chose to renounce his royal life, leave his family and his comforts behind, and venture into the world as a mendicant. He sought wisdom from religious teachers, practiced severe asceticism, and meditated for long hours. Yet the answer to his question, the understanding of suffering, remained elusive. Siddhartha's search led him to the realization that neither a life of luxury nor severe asceticism was the path to true understanding. It was then that he chose the middle way, a path of moderation away from the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification. His relentless pursuit of truth finally led him to a serene spot under the Bodhi tree. There, determined to stay until he found his answers, he meditated deeply. It was here, in this profound state of meditation, that Siddhartha finally attained enlightenment, becoming the Buddha, the awakened one. The Buddha's path was not an easy one. It was a journey marked by profound questioning, relentless seeking, and a radical departure from the norms of his time. It was a journey born from a deep desire to understand the nature of suffering and find a way to end it. Driven by a desire to understand the true nature of suffering, he embarked on a quest for knowledge and self-discovery. This quest would not only transform his own life, but would also lay the foundation for one of the world's most influential philosophical systems, Buddhism. Through years of meditation and introspection, Siddhartha eventually attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. This wasn't a sudden magical transformation, but the culmination of a long, arduous journey filled with trials and tribulations. Siddhartha, who had lived a life of privilege, had now renounced his worldly ties. His singular aim was to understand the root cause of human suffering. His quest led him to the path of asceticism, where he subjected himself to extreme hardships. But he soon realized that neither indulgence nor deprivation held the key to understanding life's mysteries. This led him to the middle way, a path of moderation away from the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification. Siddhartha then sat under a Bodhi tree, vowing not to rise until he had found the answers he sought. After 49 days of intense meditation, he attained enlightenment and emerged as the Buddha, the awakened one. His mind was clear, free from the illusions that cloud human judgment. He had discovered the truth about life, suffering, and the cycle of birth and rebirth. He realized that life is permeated with suffering, and this suffering is rooted in our desires. By eliminating these desires, one could attain a state of liberation called nirvana. This profound understanding led to the formulation of the Four Noble Truths: the truth of suffering, the cause of suffering, the end of suffering, and the path leading to the end of suffering. This path, known as the Eightfold Path, became the guiding principles of Buddhism. It teaches right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. These are not sequential steps, but interconnected principles that guide a person towards enlightenment. The Buddha spent the rest of his life teaching these truths, guiding countless others onto the path of enlightenment. His teachings were not dogmatic. Instead, they encouraged self-discovery and personal growth. It was here that he developed the core teachings of Buddhism, known as the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. This was the beginning of a spiritual revolution that would transcend borders, shaping the lives of millions across centuries. As the Buddha's teachings began to resonate with more and more people, Buddhism started to spread across Asia. It was a journey that began in the verdant plains of ancient India, where the Buddha first shared his insights about suffering and the path to liberation. From India, Buddhism began its steady march towards the east and south. It found eager followers in the island nation of Sri Lanka, where the teachings of the Buddha were preserved in the Pali language. This form of Buddhism, known as Theravada Buddhism, prioritized personal enlightenment and became deeply rooted in Sri Lankan culture. In Southeast Asia, countries like Thailand, Myanmar, and Cambodia also embraced Theravada Buddhism. It was woven into their social fabric, influencing their arts, their laws, and their daily life. Here, the rich tapestry of Buddhist teachings was further embroidered with local customs and traditions. Further east, Buddhism reached the shores of China. Here it evolved into a unique form known as Mahayana Buddhism. This school of thought emphasized the ideal of the bodhisattva, a being who seeks enlightenment not just for themselves but for the benefit of all sentient beings. This compassionate philosophy resonated with the Chinese people and became an integral part of their cultural identity. Throughout this journey, Buddhist scholars and missionaries played a pivotal role. They were the torchbearers of the Dharma, the universal truth that the Buddha had discovered. They translated scriptures, built monasteries, and engaged in philosophical debates, ensuring that the Buddha's teachings would reach far and wide. And so Buddhism, like a river, flowed from its source in India, branching out into numerous tributaries as it spread across Asia. Each region embraced Buddhism in its own unique way, blending it with local customs and traditions. Through this fascinating interplay of culture and philosophy, the teachings of the Buddha found a home in the hearts of millions, continuing to guide them on the path to enlightenment. Today, Buddhism remains an integral part of the lives and identities of millions across Asia. This ancient philosophy, with its roots planted deeply in the life of Siddhartha Gautama, continues to flourish and evolve in the modern world. Buddhism's influence is not confined to the spiritual realm. It permeates every facet of daily life, shaping cultural practices and infusing a unique perspective into the art and architecture of various countries. From the intricately carved stupas of Myanmar to the tranquil Zen gardens of Japan, the essence of Buddhism is etched into the very fabric of Asian societies. But what makes Buddhism so enduring? Perhaps it's the philosophy's focus on inner peace and mindfulness, offering a refuge from the relentless pace of modern life. Or maybe it's the sense of community that it fosters, bringing people together in shared practices and rituals. Every day, the teachings of the Buddha echo through the halls of temples as monks clad in vibrant robes chant ancient sutras. These chants are not mere recitations. They serve as a form of meditation, a way to cultivate mindfulness and compassion. Buddhism also shines brightly during festivals. One such event is Vesak, a celebration of the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and passing into nirvana. During Vesak, temples are adorned with lanterns and devotees gather to pay homage to the Buddha, reinforcing the sense of community and shared belief. Yet Buddhism is not just about grand ceremonies or monumental structures. It's also about the small, everyday practices. It's in the quiet moments of meditation before the break of dawn, in the acts of kindness towards all living beings, and in the pursuit of wisdom and understanding. From the tranquil chanting in temples to the colorful celebrations during festivals, Buddhism continues to provide solace, guidance, and a sense of community to its followers. It's a testament to the enduring wisdom of the Buddha and the timeless relevance of his teachings. As we navigate through the complexities of the modern world, Buddhism continues to light the way, reminding us of the path towards enlightenment. So there you have it, my friends. We've traced the life of Siddhartha Gautama, explored the development of Buddhist philosophy, and witnessed the far-reaching impact of Buddhism across Asia. From the peaceful serenity of the Bodhi tree to the bustling streets of modern-day Myanmar, Cambodia, and China, Buddhism's influence permeates every corner of the continent. We've followed the path of a privileged prince who forsook his comforts to seek a deeper understanding of life. His journey to enlightenment gave rise to the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, principles that have guided countless individuals towards a life of mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. We've seen how Buddhism, starting from a single seed in ancient India, branched out across borders and cultures. It adapted and thrived, absorbing elements of local customs yet remaining true to its core teachings. Today it continues to flourish, enriching the lives of millions with its profound insights and tranquil practices. But remember, our journey doesn't end here. The world of Buddhism, like any philosophical system, is vast and deep. There's always more to learn, more to explore. Whether it's diving into the intricate layers of Buddhist scriptures, delving into the rich history of Buddhist art and architecture, or simply adopting Buddhist practices into your daily routine, the possibilities are endless. So I invite you to continue on this path of discovery. Read, research, meditate, reflect. Engage in conversations, ask questions, challenge your perceptions, and most importantly, apply the teachings in your own life. See how they can transform your understanding of the world and your place in it. Join me next time as we embark on another captivating journey of discovery. Until then, stay curious and keep seeking the path to enlightenment. Namaste.